Hi there. Wanted to send you a quick message just as a follow-up from today's sales meeting. Great to see so many of you out there for the session today. Wanted just to share with everybody some information that I touched on in the meeting. It has to do with the May 2018 Market Watch information. If you've never taken a look at the Market Watch that's provided by TREB, I would encourage you to get online, take a look at it. It's a very extensive report, and the information that I've been, that I'm sharing with the group is really just the first and last page. That's really just summary information from that. So in terms of what's going on in the market right now, maybe at first glance it actually would look quite negative. I look at that though and say there's a lot of positive there that I want you to sort of be aware of. Now, in terms of what we've been experiencing, let me just sort of start by saying that, what we had a year ago, okay? So let's just say for the first 5 months of 2017, we had a market that was just out of control, and we saw things that we have never seen before. And really there was a heat in the market that was just really unsustainable. And so in terms of what we've adjusted to, I think in a lot of ways is a lot healthier market. It obviously is going to be an adjustment for the sellers, but I would like to think that increasingly they're starting to recognize that what we experienced before is gone, it's over, and what we're now looking at is sort of a new normal, if I could call it that. And what I want you to sort of take from this is to say that the market that we have right now is actually pretty good. But when you look at the information, when you see the reports that are coming out in the media, at first you're going to say, well, that doesn't look good at all. So I wanted to add some balance to the reports that you might be seeing. Now, in terms of unit sales, last year, May 2017, we had about 10,000 units that traded on the TREB board. And in May of this year, we had about 7,800. So we're down about 22%. Now, obviously unit sales are down without question. Now, one of the positives that you can sort of take from that is to say, though, you're actually going to find that if you look at the unit sale drop in the previous months of 2018, we're actually down less. So as an example, in April of 2018, we were down about 32% in comparison to the previous April in 2017. So from that perspective, things are improving, okay, but obviously still down. Now, in terms of sales price, again, we are down from the May of 2018, where the average price was about 862. Today we're about 805. So we're down about 6% when you're looking at that as a percentage basis. Now, one of the things, and some of the media sources will cover this, if you look at the TREB information, it talks about seasonally adjusted. So if you look at the numbers for the month of May, seasonally adjusted, what you're actually going to find is that we're about flat, or in reality, we're up about 1%. So again, a positive thing that you could take from this. Now, in terms of why we find ourselves in this position, we obviously had a very overheated market back in the beginning of 2017. And from that point going forward, we had the introduction of the foreign buyers tax, which took place in April of 2017. Following that, we had the introduction of a stress test. And then, of course, we've had some rate increases. So all of those factors sort of combined have sort of brought us to the point where we find ourselves. And May of 2018 now is 1 year later from all of these different effects. And so with that, I think we can look at what we have here as what we might consider to be our sort of new market. And if you look at the numbers, they're still pretty good. We're having, we've got about 20,000 listings on the board right now, and we're selling about 8,000 of them. So, we've got an absorption rate or a month of inventory of about, call it about 2.7 months. And, when we're looking at the 2.7 months of inventory, by definition, that is still considered to be a seller's market. Another positive that I wanted to share with you, if you look at the average sale price going back to January of 2018 to today, we've actually gone up about $70,000 on average. Now, certain categories of homes will have increased more, some will have increased less. But the message here is that if your buyers have been waiting for a deal, okay, I think they need to get going. There are some good purchases out there, and I would encourage you to be looking at the market very carefully. But in terms of just waiting around with the thought that things are going to get better in terms of your buying power, I would say that would be a strategy that I wouldn't recommend at this point. In terms of selling your property right now, I think it's still a great time to sell because that will free you up to make other opportunity purchases in other price categories. So all in all, a lot of positive in the market. You know, my thought will be to say that our market is going to be pushed a little bit later than what we typically see it. But going forward, I think we can start to suggest to both buyers and sellers that balance has perhaps returned to the market and it's a great time to get going. Hope this information helps. If you have any questions, shoot me a message at any point, and look forward to seeing you at some point later in the office. Take care and have a great day.